Hi guys, welcome to episode 3 of Returning to Training, Returning to the Gym. Joined again by our wonderful coach Shea, who's going to drop some brain knowledge on us in, part 3, what are we talking about, Shea?
Okay, so we're going to talk about recovery and a little bit about nutrition.
Great. Recovery, right, so is that just protein shake after the gym?
Okay, well, a little bit more than that. Okay. Basically, we talked about previously in our other videos about how our body's going to be affected by not just what we train when we come back, but also by maybe what we've been doing in terms of daytime, in terms of work and stuff that's going to have an effect on our body. Okay, so we know that we talked about, we've not talked about, but we talk about a lot in terms of warming up and movement prep and stuff like that before you come in to the gym. Okay, and we're going to hopefully obviously do that because we know that stuff's going to be tight, stuff's going to be affected, and we're going to have to make sure we warm up properly.
Yep.
But what I'm stating here is you don't want to just be doing it pre-session. We want to be doing it post as well.
Oh, okay, so kind of bookend the beginning and the end of your session.
Exactly.
With some movement prep.
We've already mentioned that you should hopefully be reducing the volume of your session or your intensity, so your session should be a bit shorter than usual.
Yep.
So let's maybe think about, that time that the session used to be, let's add in this movement prep at the end.
Okay.
So if you did like a thorough warm up at the beginning with all these movement prep, this mobility, pick 2 or 3 exercises from that and let's repeat them at the end.
Okay, so it's not just rolling on a foam roller, it's some proper movement prep.
Yeah, some proper movement prep, some proper activities to get blood circulating again, get joints moving again. Think about what we just worked and pick some areas which may be affected that we know gets affected.
Okay.
Once we've trained, I know when I squat the next day, hip flexor really tight. Okay, let's look at those.
Okay,
at the end of the session.
because we know, so normally you get tight hip flexors, but due to the changes in the job role that you may have, your hip flexors might actually be even tighter than normal.
Exactly, yeah. So you might need to hit these a bit more frequently.
Nice, okay, so movement prep, beginning and the end.
Yeah. One of the other factors is we're probably going to have to start thinking about our recovery in terms of what we do now. So we like to refer to that as active recovery.
Okay.
Okay, so instead of just seeing recovery as done my session, and I go home and have a bath, might do the odd bit of stretching, and I'm just going to sit on the sofa.
Yeah.
Okay? Usually, probably most of us probably actually miss the stretching and stuff like that, or
Yeah.
we might just leave. Okay, now we need to think about actually, what are we going to do to make sure our body recovers from these sessions? We already talked about fatigue is likely to be higher in our body.
Okay.
So we need to think about what we want to do. So active recovery refers to the fact that we come in and we do some movement or some activity, which is a lower stimulus than normal.
Yep.
But is creating blood flow, creating some muscle activation to kind of cause our body to start boosting that recovery process.
Oh, okay, so we're having an impact on our body's recovery. We're not just allowing it to happen, we're encouraging
boosting it. Yeah, we're going I want you to recover.
Okay.
Let's get the right things happening for you to recover.
That makes a lot of sense.
And
that's going to help manage DOMs,
Yeah, exactly. You're likely to get DOMs when you come back. That's likely to be a factor. So be aware of that. And usually when we get DOMs, we're like, I don't want to do anything. Can barely move my chest, But actually, you need to start moving.
Okay.
You need to start doing stuff that's going to help. So it could be as simple as coming in and being like, hey, let's do some press ups, let's do some inverted rows, let's do some body weight squats, glute bridges. These general exercises you probably be doing in lockdown.
Yeah.
Come in, do them at a lower intensity, nice and, not trying to rush it through. We're not trying to be like, hey, let's do a circuit and as many as we can.
Yeah.
Let's just do a gentle form of exercise for kind of half an hour.
Okay.
We'd be good.
Great. So active recovery, we know what it is, we know we can use it, and actually it's something we need to intentionally plan in.
Yes, exactly. It could be if we're lucky enough to train in the morning, it could be an evening thing.
Yep.
If we train in the evenings, it could be the day after. It could be the day we don't usually go to the gym, or the day we thought we were not going to go. Okay, well, let's still go, or let's do it at home. Don't have to come to the gym to do it. 30 minutes.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. What about then? So that's kind of what I'm doing with my body, my movement. What about kind of what I'm eating?
Okay, so stimulus has increased. Generally, what's going to happen now is our body's going to be like, I want more food.
Yep.
Okay, our muscles are going to want food for growth. They're going to be damaged. We're going to be craving it. Okay.
We're also potentially, like some of us, going to think that well, I've worked out now, I deserve a lot of calories.
Yeah, exactly. Now, unfortunately, that might not be the case yet. Might not be the case in terms of how much we think we need.
Okay.
Okay, we are going to need some, because if we've got fatigue and we've got DOMS, that generally means our body's craving nutrition. Okay, to help us. It could be simple as like we're just low on vitamin intake and all this sort of stuff, aspects that help it. But we basically want to ensure that we don't go, okay, I've trained, I'm back to training, let's like rank up the calories as high as I can again, and let's get building again. Okay, that's not going to be a healthy way of doing it.
Okay.
So what we probably need to look at is like small adjustments.
Okay.
Okay, so maybe come back to training, add 100 calories back to your normal calorie intake.
Okay.
Be a good way to progressively see if we're adding too much over kind of a 2-week free period, or if we need to keep adding a little bit more.
Okay, so monitor it and add slowly over time, because I think a lot of us might, wear a fitness tracker or something, and it might tell me that I've burnt 1,000 calories in my session, but that might not strictly be accurate.
No, exactly. These aren't actually taken into factors in terms of, they do monitor heart rate, but not so accurately in terms of what we've done. They say about like intensity and stimulus, but if it was that easy, we'd all be losing weight, or we'd be building muscle like as quick as we wanted. So we just need to be aware that actually we probably haven't burnt 1,000 calories in that session. Let's kind of be more aware that actually we just need to make small adjustments to what we're doing at first, and then we can adjust from there.
Nice. Okay, so for part 3's kind of takeaways, it's that we need to be mindful of movement prep at the beginning and a small bit at the end. So not just rushing out the door, and that our fatigue levels are going to be higher than normal, so we need to add in some active recovery to help stimulate recovery. And then that in terms of our nutrition, our food, we need to resist that urge to just pile on the food and just slowly
increase it as it goes on. Don't gorge straight in.
Or actually, what about if my goal is to lose some weight that I've put on in lockdown?
Cool. Then first, start your training, see what happens for that first week or 2 weeks. Then maybe make the adjustments from there.
Perfect.
Stay consistent with what you've been doing in your nutrition. Don't make too many big changes, because again, we don't want adverse effects in terms of like dropping dramatically. You introduce training, fatigue goes through the flying up, you're going to get ill.
Yes. Okay. That's a very good point. Nice. Okay, so end of part 3. See you next time for our final part, part 4. Bye.